and gentlemen, achievers, warriors, dreamers, how are we feeling today? Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're being pulled in 1,000 directions, like you're crushing it at work, but your relationships are suffering? Or maybe you're giving everything to your family, but your career is at a standstill. Let me tell you this. Balance is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Unlike money, possessions, or even relationships, once time is gone, it's gone forever. The problem isn't that we don't have enough time, it's that we don't use it wisely. Think about it. How often do we hear people say, I don't have time for that, yet they spend hours scrolling social media, binge watching TV shows, or getting lost in meaningless tasks? The truth is, it's never about time, it's about priorities. When something truly matters, we make time for it. Successful people don't have more hours in the day than anyone else. They simply manage their time differently. They don't let their days be dictated by distractions, other people's demands, or things that don't align with their vision. Instead, they take control. They start their day with intention, knowing exactly what they need to focus on. They eliminate time wasters, delegate what doesn't require their direct attention, and set clear boundaries to protect their most productive hours. One of the biggest mistakes people make is being reactive instead of proactive. The first thing many people do when they wake up is check their phone, emails, texts, social media notifications. And what happens? They immediately start their day responding to other people's priorities instead of setting their own. Instead of creating their day, they are reacting to it. That's a dangerous cycle that leaves people feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and constantly busy without actually being productive. The most powerful way to take control of time is to be deliberate about how the day begins. A great strategy is time blocking, setting specific periods for focused work, deep thinking, and even personal time. When you allocate dedicated time for your most important tasks, you eliminate the distractions that typically steal your focus. You also need to be ruthless about cutting out low-value activities. If something isn't moving you closer to your goals, question why you're doing it at all. Time isn't something to find, it's something to claim. The moment you stop waiting for free time to magically appear and instead take ownership of your schedule, you start designing a life on your terms. Because when you master your time, you master your results, your success, and ultimately your entire life. Balance is not about splitting time evenly between work and personal life. It's about alignment. The common misconception is that if we just divide our hours perfectly, 50% work, 50% personal life, we'll achieve balance. But life doesn't work that way. There will be days when work demands more of you and other days when your personal life takes priority. True balance isn't about rigidly assigning time. It's about ensuring that both aspects of your life support and complement each other instead of competing against each other. Imagine two people, one grinds 80 hours a week, making a ton of money, but has no meaningful relationships. The other spends all their time with family, but feels unfulfilled because they're not pursuing their passion or financial goals. Neither of them is truly balanced. The goal isn't to spend an equal amount of time in all areas of life. It's to ensure that the time you do spend is intentional and fulfilling. When you love what you do, work becomes an extension of your purpose, not just a task that drains you. When you give quality time to your family and personal growth, it fuels your ability to perform at work. The key is to integrate, not separate. Stop seeing work and life as two opposing forces constantly fighting for control. Instead, ask yourself, how can my career support my personal goals? How can my personal life energize me to perform better in my career? When you align your purpose, passions, and priorities, you no longer feel guilty for working hard or for taking time off. You're simply living a life that is in sync with what truly matters to you. This requires self-awareness and honesty. Are you overworking because you love it or because you're avoiding something else in your life? Are you neglecting your goals out of laziness or because you truly value slowing down? Balance is personal. No one can define it for you. It's about creating a rhythm that makes you feel alive, fulfilled, and in control of your time. If your work gives you meaning and your personal life gives you joy, then you've achieved something far more powerful than balance. You've created alignment. And when your life is aligned, success in all areas comes naturally. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful things you can do to achieve work-life balance. Without boundaries, your time, energy, and focus will be controlled by everything and everyone around you. People will always have requests, distractions will always exist, and work will always demand more of you. If you don't establish clear limits, you'll constantly feel overwhelmed, stretched too thin, and unable to fully enjoy either your work or personal life. The first step to setting boundaries is understanding that saying no is not selfish, it's necessary. Too many people say yes to things they don't want to do out of obligation, guilt, or fear of disappointing others. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to something that does. If you keep putting everyone else's needs before your own, you'll eventually burn out and have nothing left to give. The most successful people understand that protecting their time is essential, not optional. Boundaries apply to both work and personal life. In the workplace, it's about setting clear expectations with colleagues, clients, and even yourself. This means not answering work emails at all hours, not taking on extra tasks that don't serve your goals, and not allowing others to dictate your schedule. If you allow work to consume all of your time, it will. But when you set firm boundaries, you create space for personal growth, relationships, and relaxation. In your personal life, boundaries are just as important. This means having time that is sacred, time where you are fully present with your family, friends, or yourself, without work distractions. It means not letting negative or toxic people drain your energy. It also means recognizing when you need to step back and recharge. Taking time for yourself isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for long-term success. Boundaries are not about shutting people out, they're about protecting what matters most. The people who respect your boundaries are the ones who truly respect you. And the more you enforce them, the more control you gain over your own life. When you learn to say no to distractions and demands that don't serve you, you gain the power to say yes to the things that truly bring you success, happiness, and fulfillment. The way you start your morning determines the way you live your life. Too many people wake up and immediately go into reaction mode, checking their phone, responding to emails, scrolling social media. From the moment they open their eyes, they're letting outside forces dictate their day. But high performers, successful leaders, and fulfilled individuals know one simple truth. Own your morning, own your life. The first hour of your day is your foundation. If you start your day feeling rushed, stressed, and overwhelmed, that energy carries into everything else. But if you start with clarity, focus, and intention, you set yourself up for success. The key is to be proactive, not reactive. Instead of letting the world control you, you take control. Instead of responding to other people's priorities, you focus on your own. One of the most powerful ways to own your morning is to create a morning ritual that fuels your mind, body, and energy. This isn't about having a long, complicated routine. It's about setting the tone for the day in a way that works for you. Start by moving your body, exercise, stretch, or even just take a short walk. Physical movement increases energy, sharpens focus, and puts you in a peak state. Then feed your mind. Read something that inspires you, listen to a podcast, or practice gratitude. A positive mindset isn't something that just happens, it's something you train. Finally, set your intentions. What are the top 3 things you want to accomplish today? What mindset do you need to show up with? The clearer you are about your goals, the more likely you are to achieve them. Successful people don't leave their mornings to chance. They design them with purpose. They understand that if they start strong, they perform better, think clearer, and make better decisions throughout the day. A chaotic morning leads to a chaotic life. But when you start your day with purpose and power, you create momentum that carries into everything you do. The question is, are you designing your day, or is your day designing you? The choice is yours. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anything else. Too many people sacrifice their health, energy, and mental well-being in pursuit of success, thinking they'll take care of themselves later. But later never comes. The truth is, self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to perform at your highest level, feel fulfilled in your relationships, and truly enjoy your success, you need to make yourself a priority. Think about it. When do you feel your best? When you're exhausted, running on caffeine and stressed out, or when you're energized, clear-headed, and physically strong? The way you treat your body and mind directly impacts your ability to show up for your work, your family, and yourself. Neglecting self-care doesn't just lead to burnout, it lowers your productivity, creativity, and ability to make sound decisions. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is, I don't have time to take care of myself. But here's the truth. You don't have time not to. When you invest in your health, you gain more energy. When you rest properly, you think more clearly. When you feed your body the right foods, you perform better. Success isn't about grinding yourself into the ground. It's about sustaining high performance over the long run. And the only way to do that is by prioritizing self-care. Taking care of yourself starts with the basics. Move your body every day. Exercise isn't just for looking good, it's for feeling strong, energized, and mentally sharp. Get enough sleep. Your body repairs itself when you rest, and lack of sleep destroys focus and emotional control. Fuel yourself with the right foods. Your brain and body run on what you eat, garbage in, garbage out. And just as importantly, take time to recharge. Whether it's meditation, journaling, or simply taking a walk in nature, find what helps you reset and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. People think self-care takes time away from success, but in reality, self-care fuels success. When you take care of yourself first, you show up stronger, sharper, and more capable in everything you do. You can't pour from an empty cup, so fill yours first. When you do, you'll be able to give more to your work, your relationships, and your goals, not from a place of exhaustion, but from a place of strength. Work-life balance doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make a conscious choice to prioritize what truly matters. Too many people wait for the right time to create balance, as if one day their workload will magically decrease, their schedule will free up, and their responsibilities will become easier. But here's the truth. That day will never come unless you create it. Balance is not something you find. It's something you design. The reason so many people feel overwhelmed and out of balance is that they haven't defined what balance means to them. One person's version of balance might be working hard for 6 days and unplugging completely on Sundays. Another person's balance might be taking long vacations every few months while pushing full throttle in between. There is no universal formula, only the one that works for you. The key is to decide what balance looks like in your life and then take intentional action to create it. This starts with taking responsibility for how you spend your time. If your life feels unbalanced, don't blame your job, your boss, or your circumstances. You have more control than you think. Start by eliminating what no longer serves you. Time-wasting activities, unnecessary obligations, and distractions that drain your energy. Replace them with things that bring fulfillment. Quality time with loved ones, personal growth, and activities that recharge you. The moment you take ownership of your time, everything shifts. Another important shift is letting go of guilt. Too many people feel guilty when they focus on work and then feel guilty when they take time for themselves or their family. That guilt serves no one. Instead of chasing perfection, embrace the reality that balance is fluid. Some weeks will be work heavy, others will require more focus on your personal life, and that's okay. Balance isn't about rigidly dividing your time. It's about making sure over time your work, relationships, and well-being are all thriving. The bottom line is this. Balance is a daily choice. It's about consistently realigning your priorities, protecting your time, and making sure that the life you are building is the life you actually want to live. When you take control of your time, set boundaries, and commit to what truly matters, balance isn't something you chase, it's something you create. And when you create it, you don't just survive, you thrive. Let me leave you with this. Work-life balance isn't a destination, it's a decision. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping things will magically align. It's about taking ownership right now of your time, your energy, and your priorities. Because at the end of the day, success means nothing if you're too exhausted to enjoy it. Money means nothing if you're disconnected from the people you love. And time means nothing if you're not using it to create a life that truly fulfills you. So here's my challenge for you. Start designing. Start designing. Decide what boundaries looks like for you. Set the boundaries, protect your time, and fuel your energy. Because when you take control of your life, when you align your work with your purpose and your personal life with your happiness, you don't just live, you thrive. Now go out there and make it happen.